Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Nick from Rise of Sports, and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm going to be ranking every NBA starting lineup after 2022 free agency is over. And this is just after Rudy Gobert got traded. Today is July 18th as I'm recording this. Y'all might not see it until much later. So, if any KD signing happens or anything, or trade happens or anything, this was before that. So yeah, let's just get into this. So as you can see, this is ranking every NBA starting lineup after the 2022 free agency by Grant Hughes. Who do I think has the worst starting five now? I think it probably is the Spurs after DeJounte Murray left. I mean, they're going to have like Josh Primo, Keldon Johnson, and Jeremy Shohan as their big three. Like, that's not the best starting lineup ever. I would say the Wizards, but they have Bradley Beal still, so I think it might be the Spurs. So it is the Spurs. I was correct on that. Their starting five will be Josh Primo, Josh Richardson, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Not a good starting five. Their best player looks to be Keldon Johnson on that list. Not good if he's your best player. If he's your third best player, then maybe, but that is a yikes for me. Yeah, Primo's being at point guard, I don't know about. Didn't really watch him a whole ton last year, but I know that he's not a true point guard, so we'll see if that even works. But I like, it says Richardson, Poeltl bring defensive integrity. Sure, yeah, but you don't have any offense. So Detroit at 29, that seems a little bit too high. By high I mean too highly up the list. It's like closest to 30. Too low if you mean to 1. But Detroit at 29, I don't know. They have Cade, Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Marvin Bagley, and Isaiah Stewart. I don't know how that's the 29th best starting five. Sure, you don't have players that are like proven or anything. Like Cade Cunningham, obviously, is going to be really good. He had a good rookie year. Jaden Ivey, I think he's going to be really good. I don't know. Sadiq Bey's been a good player. Marvin Bagley has not been amazing, but I think in a different role, he'll be good. And Isaiah Stewart was good. I mean, it's just really young. So, I mean, this starting five might be 29 right now. It's going to be top 10 in like a year. Like, literally after the end of this year, I think we're going to say it's a top 10 starting five with how good they are. Maybe 2 years. Number 28, Orlando. Yeah, I mean, there is another case of just a really, really young team. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Paolo, Franz Wagner, and Wendell Carter. This is a really young team, really potential to be really good. John Isaac's not even in this list. Yeah, Markel Fultz, that's not even on the starting five. So I mean, they have a deep roster, but as far as starting five, I can see why this is a little lower. I would take Detroit starting five over Orlando starting five, honestly. Like, I would take Cade and Jaden Ivey over Paolo and Jalen Suggs right now, but that's just my opinion. 27 is Houston. That's my team, of course. Yeah. I mean, this team starting five is not great. I think it has potential though. KPJ, Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Jabari Smith, Alperen Sengun. I hope Eric Gordon doesn't start. I mean, he's a good role player. I don't know why he's still on our team. Like, he's overdue, like, for a different team. He's been on this team for way too long at this point. He deserves to go to a team that has the potential to win a championship. But if he's starting, he'll give the young guys some, he'll be a role model for them. So I guess that's good. But I'm really excited to see Jabari and Jalen Green together. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, I mean, 27 is about where I would put them. 26 for the Kings. Fox, Herter, Barnes, Keegan Murray, Sabonis. I would raise that a little bit. Keegan Murray won Summer League MVP. He looks to be really good. De'Aaron Fox is awesome. You got Kevin Herter from the Hawks. I really love him as a player. Then you have Sabonis. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is also a little low. I don't know though. 25 is Utah. Yeah, especially if you get rid of Donovan Mitchell, they might be last actually. But I mean, right now you still have Conley, you still have Mitchell, you still have Bogdanovich and Jared Vanderbilt and Walker Kessler. That front court is bad now. Now that you got rid of Gobert, It's bad, but you got draft picks, and so I guess they're not really trying right now to be like amazing. I guess I don't really know. Not really sure what their plans are now. I mean, I wonder if Donovan Mitchell gets moved. This could be the worst starting five in the league by far if he gets moved. 24 OKC. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they're higher up on the list. You got Josh Giddey, Shea, Lou Dort, Chet, and Darius Bazley. This is another really young team, and even though Josh Giddey has looked really good in summer league, shouldn't have been there, but he played really well. And you have Shea, who's a really good player. You know what he brings, but then you have guys like Chet, who I guess Chet, who is unproven. You don't know how he's going to be. Darius Bazley's decent, but he's not like anything amazing. So you're really leaning on Josh Giddey to step up even more, and you're really saying that Chet is going to be a lot better to put them ahead of some of these other teams, in my opinion. 23, Indiana. Tyrese, Chris Duarte, Buddy Hield, Jalen Smith, Miles Turner. I think this team's low also. I think Tyrese and Buddy Hield and Jalen Smith and Miles Turner, they're all really good, and they've grown. I think Chris Duarte is going to grow even more this year. Jalen Smith played really good at the end of last year, and then you have Miles Turner, one of my favorite centers in the league, and Tyrese Halliburton, who just got acquired last year. So I think this team's really good. I guess I can see them at 23. I would move them up a few more spots, in my opinion. 22 for the Wizards. Now, this is a team. I don't know about this. I really don't know about them at 22. You have Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Denny Advia. Probably didn't say that right. Kyle Kuzma and Kristaps. Like, I don't see this team as a 22nd best starting five. I really don't. Like, Bradley Beal is great, but outside of that, you got Porzingis, who, plays about what his picture looks like right now. Like, he's just he doesn't always play. Like, he's good occasionally. That's all I can really say about him. And then you got Kuzma, who's decent. All these guys are decent. And then Bradley Beal's a star. So if that's 22, I just like when you look back, like I would take the Pacers starting five over that. Even with Bradley Beal, I would still take that. I probably wouldn't take. I don't know if I would take any of these guys or not. Um, I don't know. Maybe that's okay, but I feel like that's a little high for them. 21 for the Lakers. Well, I mean, I'm not really sure what to say about that. You got Westbrook, Walker, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Thomas Bryant. You got to raise it a little bit just because you have LeBron and AD. I feel like they should be around 16 or 15. Putting him at 21 is a little disrespectful to me, but I don't know. I mean, the Lakers wouldn't be making. Yeah, I mean, like with Russ, it makes sense why they're a little higher or a little lower on the list, but still, when you have that many good players, starting five wise, I feel like they're better than a lot of other teams. Not necessarily on their bench or their depth that they have. They have like no depth at all. But this starting five to me, even though they don't all play well together, the starting five alone is way better than 21, in my opinion. At 20 of Charlotte with LaMelo Ball, Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee. I don't see it. Like, I'll be honest, I would take the Lakers over them, starting five over them. I'll take Indiana probably over them. I might even take OKC over them. I mean, yeah, you have LaMelo Ball, and okay, probably not OKC, honestly, now I'm thinking about it. But I would definitely take the Lakers starting five over this starting five. Not for the future, obviously, but for next year, I would take the Lakers over this. LaMelo Ball is going to grow, and he's going to continue to be great. You have Terry Rozier, who's a good player. You have Gordon Hayward, who's a good player. You have PJ Washington, who's a good player. And Mason Plumlee's a little old. So you have a bunch of good players here. LaMelo Ball is turning into a star. But when you look at that compared to LeBron and AD, I don't think it's comparable. Like, I feel like that should be easy, but maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Who knows? 19 for New York with Jalen Brunson, Fournier, RJ Barrett, Randall, Robinson. Yeah, I see it. I mean, Jalen Brunson, I think you're weighing heavily on Jalen Brunson to carry the load if you're putting them ahead of like the Lakers and other teams starting five wise. RJ Barrett is really good. Julius Randle had a great year a couple years ago and is not really all that anymore. I think he's still okay. Like he's still a good player, but he's not like what he used to be. RJ Barrett, I think, is really good and it's going to continue to take steps up. Jalen Brunson will be a good pairing with RJ, and then Mitchell Robinson's a top 11, top 12 center in the league. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I see it, but I probably still would take the Lakers starting five over this. 18 for Chicago, Lonzo, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Vucevic. This also seems really low. I feel like this should be more like 10 or 11. Like, I get last year they didn't, play as well as you'd think they should have. But I mean, just based on the starting five with Lonzo, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic, like that talent wise, I think it's another thing with the Lakers. Like the star talent on this starting five is enough to bring them higher up, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't really like this list to be honest, so far. Yeah, Portland at 17 with Lillard, Simons, Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic. Yeah, when you have a player like Dame Lillard, I think that's okay to put them right here. I think even though the rest of the starting five is not great, Damian Lillard makes it great. That's the same way I feel about LeBron and AD though, so that's why I think they should be higher. But Portland, I think they're good right here. I think this is a good spot for them. Toronto at 16 with Freddie VanVleet, Gary Trent, Scotty Barnes, OG, Pascal Siakam. Yeah, this is about a good place for them. I might put them a couple spots higher than this, but I think this is a good spot. I mean, Scotty Barnes rookie of the year, and you have a team that basically all these guys went to the finals a couple years ago. Gary Trent was not on that team, I don't believe. I don't think he was. Yeah, he definitely wasn't. But everybody else was, except for Scotty Barnes too. But OG, Pascal, Fred and Philly all on that finals team. So, they have the pedigree. 15 for Miami. Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam. I think this might be a little bit more of a recency bias for people. I don't think they should be 15. I think they should be more like 18. I love Jimmy Butler. I love Bam. Kyle Lowry's good. But also, like Tyler Hero, I know he's been six man. He's turning into Lou Williams with that. You got to start Tyler Hero, I think, over Duncan Robinson. Like, I'm sorry, but I think you really should. Like, yeah, this team's good and they made it really far and they play well together, but I think it has to do with their bench also. Their bench is a big part of that. And I mean, losing PJ Tucker is going to hurt this year. I don't think they're quite at 15. I think they should be a little higher or lower down, I guess. 14 for Pelicans, CJ, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Zion, Jonas, Valanciunas. You're weighing a lot on Zion being good this year because CJ and Brandon Ingram they're good together. That alone is good enough to get you in the top 20, but more towards 18. So you're weighing on Zion to be really, really good next year, which he could be. I mean, he could totally be really good, but I think you're weighing on Zion to be really good next year on this ranking. 13, you got Atlanta, you got Trey, DeJounte, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good spot to put them. I wouldn't quite put them in the top 10, but I think they're really close. I think all these teams I would move them up at just a couple spots, but I mean, I'm just saying that for every team. But I really love this starting five. I wonder how it's going to mesh, but I think 13 is good. And 12, you got the Mavericks with Luka, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, Christian Wood, JaVale McGee. I think it's a good spot. Christian Wood bumps them up a whole lot. Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be good next year for him, and then you got Luka. So go with me. You got 11. You got the Cavs with Garland, LeVert, Markkanen, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. A little high. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's a good team, but I think it's a little high. I wouldn't go that far. I just like I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But Evan Mobley's gonna be really good. He's gonna continue to develop. But you got Garland and LeVert. Like, yeah, they're good players, but are they really good enough to put you at 11? There's no like superstar player on this starting five, and that's what kind of bothers me about it being at 11. Let's see. 10, the Grizzlies. You got Ja, Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams. Yeah, I think they're right there at 10. They've proven that they've been consistent the last couple of years with Ja, with or without Ja, to be honest. So I think 10 is a good spot for this team. Then at 9, you got Milwaukee. Yeah, Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. Really, all you need to hear out of that is Holiday, Middleton, Giannis. I think that's just good enough to put you at 9. I honestly think they could be a little higher as well. Got Timberwolves at 8. Now, this is a little high. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think this is right after Rudy Gobert gets traded. Got D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. That's a little high. Like, I get Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert really good together, but we haven't even seen Rudy Gobert play with them yet. Like, who knows how it's gonna work? I think the front court's good. Anthony Edwards obviously is gonna take a step up. I don't know if they're number 8 yet. I would maybe put them at like 12. I don't know about number 8 though. 7, you got Phoenix with Paul Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, now that Ayton's back for sure. Unless they shake anything up with KD, I think this is a good spot for him with KD. I don't even know who they would have to give up Bridges and Cameron Johnson and maybe even Chris Paul in this trade. I'm not really sure how that would work, but I think with or without KD, I think they would be around 7, and I think this is a good spot. Number 6 with Brooklyn. This is Kyrie, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons. If they are healthy and they all play, I think this is a great spot because Kyrie and Kevin Durant is lethal. And Ben Simmons, if he could just go and play defense, that'd be great. I think this is okay. I mean, I know, they haven't been healthy, but I think this is a good spot. If they are healthy, at least. At 5, we got Denver. We got Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. Yeah, again, same thing. This team's healthy. This team is definitely up there. Like, they're definitely a top 5 starting 5, in my opinion. KCP is a little weak at that shooting guard position. I think if they had somebody a little better, they could be higher up. But obviously, with this Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., if they're both healthy and back, I mean, this is a great starting 5. Or with the Clippers, I think just off first listen, I think they could be a couple spots higher. But you got John Wall, George, Leonard, Batum, and Zubac. I think Paul George and Kawhi automatically make you a top 5 starting 5. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Philly at 3, got Harden, Maxey, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, Joel Embiid. I would drop them a couple spots. I think, yeah, Harden's really good, but he's lost a little bit of a step at least. Maxey is good at developing, but he's not totally there yet. Tobias Harris is good, PJ Tucker's good, and Joel Embiid obviously is great. But I think they're really putting a lot of stock in Harden and really thinking Tyrese Maxey is going to develop a ton. Put them there is what I think for this. And at 2, Boston, you got Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Horford, Williams. Obviously, they were in the finals last year. I think this is definitely a top 2 roster in the league for sure, or at least starting 5. And then at 1, you got Golden State with Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney. Hot take for me, I would put Boston ahead of Golden State for starting 5. Yeah, you have Curry, who you could argue is the best basketball player right now in the NBA. But to me, when you have Klay Thompson, who's been off 2 major leg injuries, you have Draymond Green, who has definitely lost a little bit of a step at least. You have Andrew Wiggins, who's really good in the finals, but who knows if if that was just a finals run, if that was just a hot streak, or if he's going to continue that. And then Looney is just decent. So I would put Boston ahead of Golden State. But that is my long analysis of all 30 starting 5s coming into this next season. Let me know what you think. And yeah, drop it in the comments if you want me to react to more things like this. If you want me to react to, football starting lineups or something like that, let me know, please. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next Rise Up Sports.